Hi everyone! Today I'll be presenting a project that I worked on over the past summer with two other interns and two full-time software engineers at Google Earth. Together we ideated and built a full-stack web app that serves as a logistics platform for the Farmlink project, which seeks to rescue farm fresh produce to food banks. More on the Farmlink project, it is a student-run nonprofit that has started up in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the last 9 months, the nonprofit has been sourcing and transporting surplus and unsold produce to food banks in the fight against food insecurity and food waste. So far, Farmlink has delivered over 22.5 million pounds of produce, and Farmlink has prevented over 28.9 million pounds of carbon emissions as well. Due to the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has estimated that over 50 million people will be experiencing food insecurity this year. These facts about food insecurity are even more horrifying when we realize that about 30 to 40% of our country's food supply is actually going to waste every single year. And global food waste also harms the environment. If we were to consider global food waste to be a country, it would be the third largest contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions. Let's dive into some more details of the platform with a demo. To start, we have a page for farms, and after Farmlink organizes this, they're able to go into produce grown at these farms, and then they're able to create a surplus shipment, and this is a packaged amount of specific produce from a source farm. And then we want to go into food banks and use the extensive search and filtering mechanisms here to find a food bank that we want to create a deal with. And so a deal will include a surplus shipment and the best food bank for it to go to afterwards. That I designed and ideated are the most helpful when we're looking at creating a new deal. So this is when we're going to identify a surplus shipment to work with. And so when we're doing this and looking through all of the different shipments that Farmlink is logging and working with, we can quickly identify the kind of produce and the kind of packaging that we want to work with. And we can also select origin farms as well. And after this, we can go find a food bank that is the best fit for all of the constraints that we need. So there's many different ones logged in Farmlink's database, and we can consider different factors and different distance and travel time constraints as well to ensure that the food bank or community that we're working with is close to the farm that we're delivering from. So after we have searched and selected a food bank to work with, we're able to finish our seamless deal workflow. We also implemented RESTful API and ended up using it with our Google Cloud Firestore databases and functions to handle the CRUD operations on our data. And for hosting and authentication into our platform, we used Firebase. And then to migrate the data from Farmlink's spreadsheets into our platform, we created scripts with the Google Sheets APIs. Going more specifically into the work that I did this summer, the technical implementation of the food bank filters included using asynchronous event handlers in React to make sure that I populated the different options for the users to select in between their searching. After the user enters a search query or selects one of the menu options, the results that are presented to them need to update, and accordingly, the options to select in the search menus have to update as well. I also integrated the backend queries that my co-intern worked on, which used the Google Maps Place Autocomplete and Distance Matrix APIs to help users filter food banks by their distance and travel time from a custom location. Beyond these, I've also enabled the users to clear searches at every step of the way, and with this, I had to make sure to repopulate the results along their history of searching and undoing as well. Moving forward to more of the design and ideation behind our search features, I had many meetings with the Farmlink organizers to interview them and understand their needs, and in particular, I added features such as tables and historical tracking of their points of contacts for farms and for food banks. I came up with some ways to support farm tags, and the image featured shows being able to find farms that are Black owned. Since the summer, Farmlink has continued growing their team and working on new developments. In particular, Farmlink is working with the design consultancy IDEO and the World Wildlife Fund to grow and keep on being a long-term and sustainable organization. Thank you so much for your time.